figure is not given, you have to draw the upper figure. You have to draw two right angular triangles ABC and ABC, and they have one common hypotenuse. Okay, they have common hypotenuse. Like that, you have to draw two right angular triangles. It is difficult to draw two right angular triangles with common hypotenuse. So for that reason, we draw one circle. Okay, draw one circle and mark the center of that as a O. Okay, no need to think. Actually, you keep in mind that one center of the circle, because you have to draw diameter of that circle. To draw the diameter of the circle, you need a center of that. Draw one diameter through the center. Okay, so and you take that as a AC. And now this is what a common hypotenuse of two right angle triangles. Why? Because we know that angle in the semicircle is 90 degrees. So easily we can draw two right angular triangles with the common hypotenuse AC. Okay. So now I will draw two triangles, right angular triangles. First one is ABC. Okay, ABC. AC is already there. So take this as a B. Since angle in the semicircle is of 90 degree, this will be how much degree? 90 degree. So ABC is a right angle triangle with hypotenuse AC. Hypotenuse means what? 90 degree opposite side. So 90 degree opposite you can see, that is AC. One more right angular triangle you have to draw, that is of what? ABC name. Okay. So one more point you mark that as D, and join that D with the A and C. Okay, this is also right angle triangle because of ADC, that is what? That is angle in the semicircle. So this is also how much degree? 90 degree. So triangle ADC, that is also right angle triangle. Okay, now here you can see ABC, that is a right angle triangle. ABC, that is also right angle triangle, and AC is how? AC is opposite to 90 degrees. So that is the hypotenuse, and the common hypotenuse means belongs to both the right angle triangle. Okay, so AC is the common hypotenuse. So we draw two right angle triangles ABC and ABC such that they have common hypotenuse AC. Okay, now we have to prove angle CAD, that is their angle CAD. I mark that like this. Angle 1, I will take angle CAD as angle 1, and CBD angle. Can you see angle CBD? You can't see. So to get that, what you have to do is you have to join B and D. Okay, so join that B and D like this. Now you can see angle CBD, that is this angle. Okay, CBD. I will mark that as angle 2. Okay, this angle I will erase. You keep in mind that angle B and angle D, that is angle ADC and ABC, that are 90 degree. Note it here. Okay, so now we mark which two angles are equal. We have to prove that two angles I named as 1 and 2. Angle CAD, that I taken as angle 1, and angle CBD, that I taken as angle 2. And here what you can see, here nothing is there, just you have to observe properly. Okay, I will highlight the part of the figure like this. You draw circle, and here you have chord CD, and here you have angle 2, that is CBD angle. Okay, like this you have, and angle 1 is your like this. This is your angle 1. Okay, and what is this? Chord CD. Chord CD. Okay, on this side of chord CD, what we have? Major segment, and what we have? Angle in the angles in the same segment are equal. So now here can you see angle 2 and angle 1? They are the two angles in the same segment, major segment. So what you can say about these two angles? They are equal. Okay, just you have to observe the figure and you have to use that result. That is angles in the same segment are equal. By that result we can write in one step angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Okay, that is the answer. We know that angles in the same segment are equal, therefore angle CAD is equal to angle CBD, because CAD angle and CBD angles are angles in the same segment. Angles in the same segment, so they are equal. Okay, only this is the reason for these two angles are equal. Okay, thank you. Next problem, you have to prove that the cyclic of parallelogram is a rectangle. Cyclic of parallelogram means what? Cyclic quadrilateral. Cyclic quadrilateral means a quadrilateral whose all four vertices are on the circle. Now, cyclic of parallelogram means parallelogram you have to draw such that all four vertices are on the circle. Okay. So here draw one rough figure means you have to draw one circle. Okay. First to draw circle and take 4 points on that circle such that that gives you a cyclic parallelogram. Okay, I'll take 4 points like this. Four points on the circle you take that as A, B, C and D, and then join AB, BC. This is rough figure, not exact figure. BC, CD and DA. Okay, imagine this is a parallelogram. Okay, you can see all four vertices of this parallelogram are on the circle. Okay, imagine this is a cyclic parallelogram. What you have to prove? That is a rectangle. When a parallelogram becomes a rectangle, you know the definition of rectangle. What is the speciality of rectangle? Each angle in a rectangle is a 90 degree. If each angle in a quadrilateral is 90 degree, that proves what? That proves that quadrilateral is a rectangle. So that you have to prove now for this parallelogram. Okay, in this parallelogram you have to prove all angles A, B, C, D are equal to 90 degree. If you prove that much, then that proves cyclic parallelogram is a rectangle. And here you have to use one special property of a parallelogram and a special property of a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, if you use that two together, that gives you cyclic parallelogram is a rectangle. How to use that? See here, this is a parallelogram, right? And what you know about the opposite angles in a parallelogram? Opposite angles are equal. That we studied already. Okay. And angle A and angle C, that are also opposite angles. Both pair of opposite angles are equal. So by that we get angle D is equal to angle B and angle A is equal to angle C. So we write that in answer part. Answer, we know that WKD means we know that opposite angles are opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. Therefore, we can write angle A is equal to angle C and this one angle B is equal to angle D. Okay, and we take this as equation 1. And we know that one more thing that is about cyclic quadrilateral. Sum of both the pairs of opposite angles is 180 degree. That is by theorem 11 of this circle chapter. Okay, by that theorem 11, what we can write? Both the pair of opposite angles are supplementary. Sum of both the pair of opposite angles is 180 degree. Means angle D plus angle B is 180 degree and angle A and angle C sum is also 180 degree. Okay, either pair of opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral is how much degree? 180 degree. Using that we can write sum of A and C 180 degree and sum of B and D 180 degree. Okay. So by theorem 11, to go for a theorem 11, I will not write the full statement of that you have in notes and textbook. So by that theorem 11, we can write angle B plus angle D. Sum of opposite angles is a 180 degree, and one more opposite angles pair, that is A and C. Sum of the two angles is also 180 degree. Angle A plus angle C, that is equal to 180 degree, and we take this as equation 2. Okay, and here now we use in equation 2 we use this equation 1, and I'll keep angle B as it is, okay, and angle D and replace by angle B. So what that gives, angle D place I'll use angle B. This angle B I kept as it is, and angle D is replaced by angle B, that is equal to 180 degree. And angle B plus angle B, that is how many times added angle B? 2 times. So 2 times angle B is equal to 180 degree. So that gives what? Angle B is equal to 180 degree into 2 another side as by 2. Okay, and 2 ones are 90 times. That is equal to 90 degree. Okay, I'll continue here. So here we got the angle B is equal to 90 degree. Okay, but what we have here in 1, angle B is equal to angle D. So from 1 angle D, that is equal to angle B, and that angle B is how much degree? That is 90 degree. Okay, and here also we use the 1. Okay, from 1. How we use it? From 1 we use the angle D place, we replace it by angle B. Okay, and next continue this in the same way. Angle A I'll keep as it is, and angle C I'll replace by angle A by using 1. Okay, angle C place we replace by angle A by using equation 1. Here we use the 1 by 1. And here also 2 times angle A is A, so 2 times angle A, that is equal to 180 degree. So from this, what is angle A is equal to? Angle A is equal to 180 degree, and into 2 another side as by 2. 2 ones are 290 times. Okay, so angle A is how much degree? That is 90 degree. So therefore angle A, that is equal to 90 degree. But what if having the 1 angle A is equal to angle C, or see this in a reverse way, angle C is equal to angle A. From 1 angle C is equal to angle A. I used this in a reverse way. Okay, angle C is equal to angle A, but angle A is how much? That is 90 degree. So what here you can see in this line, angle D, angle B, angle C, angle A, all are equal to 90 degree. So this implies what? Parallelogram, or that parallelogram how we taken, that is not just a parallelogram, it is the cyclic parallelogram. If we take a cyclic parallelogram, that is what? That is always a rectangle. Okay, so implies cyclic parallelogram is a rectangle. Okay, to prove that is a rectangle, we used two results, that is opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. So by that we got equation 1, and then now we used theorem 11, that says like this: either pair of opposite angles sum is a 180 degree. So by that we got equation 2. Then we used equation 1 in the equation 2, that is one angle we kept as it is, another angle we replaced by using equation 1. So by that you will get one angle is 90 degree. So by that you will get another angle is also 90 degree. Okay, using 1, and same type you have to proceed another part of equation 2 also, that gives one more angle is 90 degree, and that gives left pair of angle is also 90 degree. So by that we get all angles, angle A, angle B, angle C, angle D, all angles are equal to 90 degree. So if all angles are equal to 90 degree, that proves that quadrilateral is a rectangle. But we taken here cyclic quadrilateral, cyclic parallelogram, so that is a rectangle. Okay. So this is the close of this question. Thank you. Next problem is if two circles intersect at two points, then prove that their centers lie on the perpendicular bisector of the common chord. That you have to prove. Okay, figure is not given to you. You have to draw one rough figure. Okay, how you have to draw figure? Read the question. If two circles intersect at two points, means you have to draw two circles such that they intersect at two points. Means like this. Okay. Center you have to mark. I'll take a center of the circle as A, first circle center, and another circle you take and center of that circle I'll take as B. Okay. Take one more circle such that it should intersect the previous circle at two points, and take the center of a second circle as a B. Okay, and here you can see these two circles with the center A and B, they are intersecting at the two points. That two points you take as a P and Q. Okay, and what is the common chord for these two circles? To get a common chord, to join P and Q. Now what is PQ? PQ is the common chord. What you have to prove? Prove that their centers, is A and B, that lie on the perpendicular bisector of the common chord. So you join A and B. Okay. And in the figure you can see that point A and B means the center of these two circles lie on this line. Okay. If you prove this line is the perpendicular bisector of PQ, then that automatically proves that their centers lie on the perpendicular bisector of the common chord PQ. So what you have to prove here? You have to prove AB is the perpendicular to PQ as well as that divides PQ into two equal parts. So if you prove AB is the perpendicular bisector of PQ, that proves what this one, that is their centers, means the circle's centers lie on the perpendicular bisector of the common chord PQ. Okay. By this much we can't prove. So what you have to do is you have to join P with A and B, Q with the A and B. Okay. So that I will do now. PA, PB, then BQ and AQ. That you have to join. Okay. It's joined that. And here you see what is AP and AQ. They are radii of a left circle. So they are equal. So I mark that by same mark. Okay. AP and AQ, they are radii of a left circle. So they are equal. And one more circle you come, and how you can see PB and BQ, they are radii of a second circle. So they are equal. So I will mark that to by equal mark. Okay. So now you see triangle PAB, upper triangle PAB and the lower one, that is QAB. Okay. In that two triangles, we equate the equal base. Okay. So in answer part, we start with that answer. About the figure, I will not give description because of that gives lengthy steps. So I will do only steps. We taken two circles in such a way that they are intersecting at two points P and Q, and next we joined their centers AB and joined P and Q, that is the common chord, PQ is the common chord. After that we joined P with A and B and then Q with A and B. That is about a figure. If you want, you can write in pencil. Okay. And now we have to consider two triangles in the triangle PAB, in triangle PAB and the triangle QAB. QAB. What we can equate? See here for AP, which side is equal in lower triangle AQ. Okay, PA is equal to AQ. Why? Because they are radii of left circle. Okay, here the reason is radii of left circle, and the same that you have two sides, that is PB and QB. Okay, PB is equal to QB. They are radius of a right side circle. Radius of a right circle. The reason here I wrote is radius of a right circle, and you can see AB, that is the common side, belongs to upper triangle as well as a lower triangle. So AB is equal to AB, and this is a common side. So here which congruence rule says these two triangles are congruent by SCSCS congruence rule. Okay, so therefore triangle AAB, that is a congruent to triangle QAB. Okay, by SCSCS rule. By this rule, we can say these two triangles are congruent. Once the triangles are congruent, then the angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Now you observe two marked sides. Okay, you shrink that two sides, then which angle you will get? If you shrink to PB, you will get this upper angle A. That I take as angle 1. Okay, so angle 1 is opposite to PB, and here are two marked opposite side. If you shrink up, you will get a lower angle A. That I take as 2. Now angle 1 is equal to angle 2, because just now we proved upper triangle is congruent to lower triangle, and we know that angles opposite to equal sides are equal. So here if you shrink up these two marked sides, you will get angle 1 and angle 2. So these two angles are equal. So therefore angle 1 is equal to angle 2. And reason is angles opposite to equal sides. Okay, and we have to use this later. So you take this as a equation 1. Now you have to consider two more triangles, and matter triangles. I'll highlight the matter triangles. I'll take up the point of intersection of this PQ and AB as a O. Okay. Now you see these two triangles. This some triangle and this triangle. That is PAO and AOQ. Okay, that are two triangles you have to see. So we consider that two triangles in the triangle PAO and QAO. Both you can equate. See, one marker sides you have, so they are equal already. AP is equal to AQ, that are radius of left circle. And here common side you can see, that is AO is equal to AO. That is common side. Okay, and just now we proved angle 1 is equal to angle 2, so we can take that angle 1 is equal to angle 2, that is by equation 1. Okay, from this angle 1 is equal to angle 2. So here two sides and one pair of angles we used. So we can say these two triangles are congruent. So therefore triangle PAO, that is congruent to triangle QAO. This is by which rule? By SCS rule. Okay, only one pair of angles we used and two pair of sides we used. Okay, so therefore what we can say now? Say we have equal angles 1 and 2. Opposite to that, which sides you have, they are equal. If you open angle 1, you will get OP, and if you open angle 2, you will get OQ. These two sides are equal, because just now we proved these two triangles are congruent. Once the triangles are congruent, then sides opposite to equal angles are equal. So by that we get OP is equal to OQ. Okay. So therefore OP is equal to OQ. Sides opposite to equal angles. Equal angles 1 and 2. I will not write in the steps, okay? But this proves what? OP is equal to OQ. OP is equal to OQ means these parts are equal. That implies what? These are parts we have because of this line of AB. Okay. So these parts are equal means what? That implies this line AB divides PQ into two equal parts. Means AB bisects PQ. So this implies AB bisects PQ. Okay, you take this as an equation 2. Since we proved these two triangles are congruent, one more thing we can see that I'll highlight that angles. This angle, I'll take that angle as 3 and this angle as 4. Can I say angle 3 is equal to angle 4? We can say, because just now we proved these two triangles are congruent. Okay, so here angles opposite to these two equal sides, PA and AQ, they are equal. Opposite to that, which angles you have 3 and 4, they are equal. Okay, and this is by congruency of triangles we are writing. Angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Why? Because they are the angles opposite to equal sides, and these two triangles are congruent. No, so and triangle PAO is congruent to triangle QAO. Okay, angle 3 is equal to angle 4, and what you can see here, 3 and 4, angle 3 and 4, they are on the line POQ. Okay, so sum of that two must be equal to how much degree? 180 degree. We know that. See, here you have like this P Q, and here you have O, and this is your angle 3 and this is your angle 4. Part of this figure you have to observe here, highlighted figure that you have to observe in the main figure. Okay, this is a straight line. On one side of a straight line, total angles must be how much degree? 180 degree. So by that, what we can write, since PQ is a line what we can write, angle 3 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degree. Okay, but here what we have, these two angles are equal. So one of the two angles you keep as it is. I'll keep angle 3 as it is, and other angle you replace by this. Angle 3 is equal to angle 4. 4 angle we replace by angle 3. That is equal to 180 degree. Since angle 4 is equal to angle 3. Like that I replace like this. And angle 3 plus angle 3, that is 2 times angle 3 equal to 180 degree. So that gives you what? Angle 3 is equal to 180 degree dividing by 2. 2 ones are 90 times. Okay, so therefore angle 3 is equal to 90 degree, but that is also equal to angle 4. Okay, angle 3 is equal to angle 4 or equal to 90 degree. These are both sides of these AO, angle 3 and angle 4, that are 90 degree. Means what you can say about AB, that makes a 90 degree angle on both sides of it. Can you see? Angle 3 is your, angle 4 is your, both are equal to 90 degree we proved now. So that implies what? This line AB, that is the perpendicular of PQ. Okay, so I'll continue here. That implies AB is perpendicular to PQ. Okay. Now AB is perpendicular to PQ and AB bisects PQ. That implies together, I'll take this as a 3 from 2 and 3. From 2 and 3, what we can say? AB is the perpendicular bisector of a common chord PQ. Okay, I'll highlight one part of this figure, that is like this. This is a PQ and this is a AB, and you keep in mind that A and B are centers. Just to we told what this AB, that is the perpendicular bisector of the common chord PQ. So here you can see on line AB what we have centers of these two circles. So AB is the perpendicular bisector of PQ. Means what we proved here, their centers, means the circles centers, the line segment joining the centers of these two circles, that is the perpendicular bisector of the common chord. Okay, their centers lying on the perpendicular bisector of the common chord. Here you can see centers A and B that lie on the line AB, and we proved this line AB is the perpendicular bisector of PQ. So that proves this one, that is their centers lie on the perpendicular bisector of the common chord. So therefore centers A and B of circles lie on the perpendicular bisectors, perpendicular bisector AB of common chord, PQ. Okay, so this proves this problem. Thank you.